We're back with part 2 of the interview, and of course we've got another performance for you as well, this time with both Jeff and Tyson performing a song off their latest CD, Homes, which they just finished touring across Canada. So very excited. Acres of Lions made it home safe and sound to their real home without the brackets. And this interview, as I said in part 1, is important. I really think and feel that this represents the link, the place that many of the independent artists that we see and know that come through SBS can go to. This is that next level. This is that moment where you've said forget it. There's no more anything else. This is what I do, this is who I am, and this is what I'm passionate about doing and creating. And I think artists, they really, they want to put something into the universe. They want something to maybe be remembered by, or something that you're going to connect with, that they'll have the chance to talk to you about one day. And Acres of Lions have really put themselves out there in as many ways as you can think of. And I truly support the idea of you guys all really sitting down and having listened to what Jeff and Tyson have to say through this interview, and absorb as much as you can, because there's a lot of great advice within these two parts, and a lot of things that Acres of Lions have been through that can help you on your journey too. So let's get to it. Let's do this interview and music thing, because that's what we love. And absolutely 100% excited, stoked, pumped up, and ready to go one more time for Acres of Lions. So here's Jeff and Tyson on SBS Live this week.
Losing my voice in the rain, shouting and calling you, yelling at the universe. I have changed, and I have, oh, I have changed for you. Temporarily, but I will get it back again, you'll see. And with our backs against the wall, you'll see that nothing can mean anything to me.
Was the attraction of stardom, was that ever kind of the goal at all? Was there an attraction there to that, knowing that people are going to hear your music in a wider sense?
Well,
I mean, I think that's always part of it. I mean,
it's always something
when you're creating any art.
Yeah.
If you only create it for yourself, it doesn't make sense. It's
right.
You create art to share with other people, and the more people that hear it, and the more people that like it, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's obviously
but in terms of
part of it. But I think a part of it too is figuring out a way that our whole lives can be just creating art and not having to have side jobs, which is what last year was we all just were musicians. For the first time we get on the airplane and we write musician on the little card when you go to the States or whatever.
Pounded it once, but let's pound it again to that, because seriously, that's honestly, that is the dream, right?
Yeah.
And
so
that's a congratulations on its own right there, guys, because I can't even imagine, but that kind of ability to now connect with all these different artists as well. You guys have I would assume you're kind of gaining inspiration daily almost from
absolutely.
From these kind of people in the scene.
Yeah, it's definitely what helped us write our new album. It's because we wrote it in its entirety on the road, and it's like we played so many shows with so many incredible acts and groups, and it was just like, it was really hard not to be really happy to be where we were, and just grateful,
fanboy style, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what you mean at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's really inspiring to hang out with other musicians that are trying to get to that level where they don't have day jobs, and it's just
absolutely
it's cool to be.
You're all in it together, and it's like you're all creating, you're all making art together, and you gotta learn how to get along.
The stronger the scene is, honestly, you guys are going to get to that point now where you'll be able to pull bands along too, right? Like people have probably done for Acres of Lions at certain points. Come out on tour with us. I think that's probably an honor on both sides of the fence. An incredible. Doesn't matter which side communicates first. It's just a cool thing to hear that on the other side of the phone every time.
For sure.
Yeah.
In terms of playing a festival versus a show, per se,
what's the difference for Acres of Lions? Is there a difference? Is that the same thing, just a nice grass field in front of you instead, or like?
Well, I would like to think that it is the same thing. I mean, one of the mottos I've lived by since I started performing, since I've been to a live show when I was, about wee tall.
Yeah.
About right there.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably right here. But,
yeah, be honest with
yeah,
people.
I'll be honest with you.
Come on.
Here. I'm only like here now. But yeah, the motto was no matter who you're playing for, 5 people or 500 people, it's got to be the same energy. It's got to be consistent. Mm-hmm. And I don't think when you play a festival, it is a bit different because you generally play to a lot more people,
right?
And there's so much foot traffic coming through, and your ability to attract those people, it's got to be there, right? And yeah. I think when we do play, say, a regular old gig at a club or a bar or an all ages show, and there's like 200. Maybe 100, 200 people, maybe even less than that, like 30.
Yeah.
It happens, right?
Sure, absolutely.
But it's like, it has to be the same energy. It has to be. And it's like, that's the only way you're ever going to, learn to bridge the gap between that.
Sure.
Like, I honestly still think one of the hardest live performances you'll ever play is to no one.
Definitely.
It's like, it's hard to create that energy unless you're really feeling it. And it's like, that's how you can prove it to yourself.
Well, you do feed off that energy, like you said. If there's nobody in front of you, then it becomes all about you.
Yeah,
you got to find that gear on your
exactly.
own, right?
But granted, it is easier to play to like a crowd of 1,000 people.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's got to be the same. I think we owe that to our fans too, who the diehard fans who do come out every time. They don't want to. They don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to see us like being bummed out about nobody being there or lack of a turnout. No, you gotta step it up always.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, it all comes down to that belief in the songs, right? Yeah. And again, if you do, we do.
Yeah, you gotta work hard at it and make sure it's what you are.
After Homes was done, how quickly does the writing resume for you guys? Is it take a break, or is it enjoy the new material, or is it like I've got a new song the next day kind of thing?
Well, in this experience, I think it was it was take a bit of a break and learn how to play.
Sure. Yeah.
The new songs really well live. A lot of rehearsal went because there's a pretty vigorous tour schedule.
Yeah.
Scheduled in for 2013. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll be back writing songs this summer. Like we've tried to take a little more relaxed summer schedule where we're playing,
relaxed. The show list is like this one.
Well, I mean, the Canadian tour goes up till about mid-May,
right?
And sort of for the actual summer, we're planning to spend a little more time in Victoria than we did last year,
right?
And still playing some amazing summer festivals, but not, beating to death every city in Canada.
Yeah. And, you gotta space it out, right? You gotta make them want it a little bit too, right? Acres of Lions. That's how it goes.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll be back in the rehearsal space writing some more songs, and I think with just in this day and age, it's like you can't take years to come out with your next masterpiece.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna ask that. I mean, I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, Jeff, but it sounds almost like. Am I wrong in picking this up? It sounds like you feel like almost a little bit rushed with this material in terms of maybe presenting it now. Like
no, I might have miscommunicated that.
No worries.
No, I don't feel rushed.
Being humble, that's all.
Yeah, I don't feel rushed at all. I just I like to work hard at it, and I just want it to be the best it possibly can before we deliver it. I'm a bit of a.
Well, you care.
What's the word? Snickerpuss?
Wow. Perfectionist, but
that's why I'm trying a new word.
I haven't heard that.
Somebody get it. So I want to see those two lines.
No, interchangeable. I just, I do spend a lot of time with these songs, like on a very, very personal level, and it's I just want them to be the best way they can be presented to people who come out. And referring back to your question before that, the writing process for me doesn't really ever stop. Like immediately after, like we took a little bit of a break after Homes was all said and done, we moved back home for a little bit, and wherever that was.
Home without the bracket.
Yeah, and I still sit down with a guitar like every day and just process the things that are turning inside my head. I'm always writing lyrics. I'm always
daily journal.
I'm always working on something that could turn into something great.
Okay.
Like,
Tyson,
I hope.
Same kind of process for you. Like, how often do you pull out the keys to just write something?
He's always tinkling the ivories.
Yeah, I love to tinkle the ivories.
He loves it.
Well, I mean, like, piano isn't actually my first instrument.
Okay.
I'm a much better guitar player than I am on the piano, so I've been...
Really?
Yeah. Well, when I joined the band,
Yeah.
it was to play some really easy, like, synth pad kind of things to add some life to the songs or whatever.
Layer, another texture.
And then add some extra, guitars in the choruses or whatever. So I've been slowly, trying to get better and better at piano. So I think for me, it's almost more like practicing and like learning the fundamentals of piano as opposed to like, writing a concerto. It's more like just trying to get better
polish up those parts.
Yeah, like get better at the instrument. So, like Jeff said, when we're playing the songs live, I'm confident in what I'm playing.
I wouldn't have known that until you told me.
Well,
so
thank you very much.
And that's having my father being a piano player, musician himself. So that's what I grew up with.
Well, I mean,
I didn't notice that.
I think half the battle is the way he looks on stage, man. This guy looks awesome.
Absolutely, bad freaking ass.
Even
right?
if you like hit a low D, it's like
that's right.
Just you throw it out to them, and they're like, "Yeah, it's cool, man."
Maybe even do it again just to be like, "Yeah, that's right. Yeah, twice. Yeah."
Attitude is 95% of it.
No shit. I'm just kidding. I am totally just kidding. But I gotta tell you though, you've come up with a lot of great riffs. I mean, Tyson and I do write a lot of the songs together.
Yeah.
But you come up with a lot of things that I do not hear, and it's
that's a great.
It's very important. He's very important to the band.
Yeah, well, I think we've tried to sort of incorporate the piano more than maybe before I was in the band, just to, I don't know, sort of make us sound a little bit different.
It does separate you though. Like it gives you that extra dynamic, because keyboards, I don't know, there's certain genres that they're all over, but for the most part they're the non-existent fourth, like they're just not there enough, in my opinion. And again, that's probably because I grew up with them, but it's nice to see that extra sound layer, that extra texture come in, because I think that it really does thicken the sound, and maybe before what you were doing with the guitar might have been almost redundant compared to what you can do with these other parts in the keyboard, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of cool opportunities for you guys that way.
Sure.
When you're kind of rising up through the music ranks and whatnot, like, have you run into any kind of creative limitations or restrictions through what you do, or is it still you can do what you want as Acres of Lions?
Oh no, I don't think we've run into any restrictions. I think the only, no serious restrictions, but I think the only restriction would be time permitting between playing so many shows.
Okay.
That was a big thing last year. We were very, very busy schedule, and we had
overbooked ourselves, basically.
Yeah, and we had set out at the beginning of the year to write an album while touring, and
right.
By the end of the year we were a little bit like, wow, we're playing a lot of shows. We should probably take a step back and get these songs written. And it did work out, and I was so glad. But at the same time, I felt really comfortable about it. I didn't feel rushed.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. We ended up we were over in the UK for 2 weeks, and we canceled a couple of shows so we could spend some time in the studio there, because it was we were coming back to Toronto and starting the record. drum studio was booked.
Okay.
So we ended up pushing the drum recording back by a week. So we did like a week in the UK of rehearsals and then a week in Toronto.
Right.
And I thought it worked out beautifully because we were just ready to record and ready to do it.
Yeah,
we had been playing so many shows in 2012, and it was just like,
It's nothing
it
worse
is
than,
time.
Nothing worse than holding that back, right? Like, you know, you've got it.
Exactly.
And, you know,
It's like, this is new. I'm excited.
Yeah. And once it's created, it's there. It's in the world. Nobody can take it back, right?
Yeah,
I love that part about creating music. It's one of my favorite parts.
Absolutely.
But that must have been exciting on all kinds of levels. You guys have now got albums being put out in the UK and Japan. Is that right as well? I think. Yeah. So I mean, that's for an indie band. That's awesome in my opinion. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
For like indie bands that are obviously still kind of trying to get to where you guys are at now, what do you think is the best piece of advice that can kind of help them along their way? Is there something that you felt like you might have done that attracted the, you know, just hit that attention spot, got the spotlight on you for a while?
I think
aside from awesome music, I mean, come on.
If you're a musician from BC, I think Music BC can be a big help. Like they do all sorts of seminars. Like basically, learn whatever you can and try and essentially make friends with as many music industry people as you can.
Absolutely. Like when you go to festivals, it's like, don't just go to play.
Right.
Work hard and, you know, hit the street and actually go to where these people are going to be and where things are happening, because it's more than just the show, you know, and you really have to be smart about it. And
you can't wait for it to happen, right? You got to go after it.
You can't just sit and wait. You gotta go. Like that would be my only advice, is just work hard at it and don't give up on it.
and don't
be smart.
Don't wait for, you know, a record label to sign you or whatever to make it happen. Like just start doing it. Like you have this amazing tool called the internet sitting there.
Isn't it a beautiful thing?
You don't necessarily have to start hitting the road as hard as we have the past 4 or 5 years, but it's like YouTube's there. Start filming some cover songs like Jeff does every week.
And just like connect with people. That's one of the biggest things I can say, is just make those connections. Because they'll save you in the end. Like it's a very important thing.
Nice. Tell me about band unity, guys.
Band unity?
Yeah, tell me about band unity.
No such thing.
No such thing? completely divided on the inside of me.
Being bros, you mean?
Yeah. Just, like, how do you stay together over time? Like, I mean, obviously you guys, like you said, you played a ton of shows last year. The whole do you ever get sick of each other question is... how do you stay together over time?
We definitely do get sick of each other once in a while, but the thing is, it's just like any relationship you want to hold on to. You got to make it work. You can't just argue. You have to accept each other for who you are.
You sound like you've been through this a couple of times.
You bet.
There you go. Yeah.
It's important to remember what you're doing together and why you're there and where you came from, because it's like that's the only thing that will keep you sane.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I think the thing is too.
And giving each other complexes in the meantime.
Right. You know,
that's the funnest part about it. That's the sick, twisted part about it.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah. Well,
self-imposed complexes.
Yeah, we've given Dan.
Anyway. Dan's ready to pretty much jump.
Yeah, he's gonna murder us one day. But
Dan, my brother from another mother. How are you guys giving this guy a complex?
Oh no, we just
love him too much.
There we go. It's over compensation.
No, but I think in all seriousness, it's like this whole thing that we're doing. It's like being married to 4 other people.
Sure. Yeah.
And like being married to one person is an incredibly difficult thing, right? So it's, you know.
I mean, no. Sorry. Yes. No. Yes. You put me in a real tough spot.
So it's like this thing we're doing is like incredibly fragile. You know, it's like we're all working to do this, barely making a living doing it, and there's a lot of stress involved with that.
Sure.
And all these different personalities. But at the end of the day, what I always try to remember is it's just like to find 3 or 4 other guys that want to make music that's anywhere similar to what I want to make.
Sure.
And want to be serious on the same level.
Yeah.
As I want to be serious is like that's an incredibly fortunate opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think people that have trouble in bands, it is because one of those things is failing.
Okay.
It's like if all you want to do is play cover songs once a week in your buddy's garage and have a few beers, you need to find other guys that want to do the same thing. If one guy wants to make it, and the 3 other guys, that's all they want to do.
There's problems coming.
The band is not going to work. So you need to all have a similar goal. And I mean, obviously, everybody's different on some level of why they want to do it or what they enjoy about it.
But you have to be willing to compromise in a situation, right?
Exactly.
Willing to work together.
Yeah.
To help each other out. Yeah.
But Acres of Land seems to be all about that kind of stuff. Togetherness and just kind of bringing everybody to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what
pretty
we
welcoming
strive
band from what I can see.
It's a traveling circus.
Yeah. Guys, I can't thank you enough. I'm sure I'll look at this paper tomorrow and be like, oh my god, there's 1,000 things I wished I asked them, but I don't want to tie you up all day long.
Well, hopefully we've been
thank you very much.
Very fruitful for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did Sasha send you a link to the new record? Or?
I don't believe she sent it to me. She might have sent it to Becky. I didn't get a link to the new record before you guys showed up. I did have one. I only had one email correspondence with Sasha before you guys got here.
But then we can grab you like an actual CD if you want.
I would freaking love it.
Sure.
Can't express to you enough, guys. I know you've probably seen enough of this BS along the ways, but
we're just kind of getting fired up on it.
Some aren't, right?
Yeah.
I'm a fucking fan. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, that's just
it's cool to hear from just like you get an opening slot for Limb Lifter, and it's like there wasn't that many people at that show. I mean, it was fun to meet those guys, and we've like hung out with them since, and they're sort of friends of ours now. But it's like, did it even help to play that show?
Right. Yeah. Sure. Fair enough.
I mean, it's great to hear that.
Well, I think one of the things that you guys mentioned was that whole aspect of how you play to a crowd mentally in your mind, right? And it brings me back to a story that I don't know if you saw the Pearl Jam documentary recently.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen parts of it.
Yeah,
awesome, really. But Cornell talks about this time where he was living with Andrew Wood, singer for Mother Love Bone.
Yeah.
And Andrew Wood, he's not my personal taste really. He was kind of that 80s glam metal thing almost more than the grunge thing.
Right.
I was a little bit worried that if he did take over, how would life be today? But that being said, I respect the way he approached the stage, and he basically, they say about him that every night on stage, whether there was 0 or 50 or 100 people, he played to 10,000 in his mind.
Yeah.
And that's truly, if you got that kind of attitude, and again, that if you believe, we believe. It's that simple, guys. You get on being successful.
It was like, I don't know. For the longest time, I was really like shy about it. Like I actually was, and like, we were through things like the Peak Performance Project and stuff like that. And it really, talking to a bunch of like live performance like coaches.
Yeah.
Like guys who deal with this all the time. They were like, you have to play bigger than the room. Like that's the only way you're ever going to feel comfortable playing to people, right?
So, Well, and there's so many stories about I can't remember the specific which band it was, but it's Richard Branson, the guy that owns Virgin.
Yeah.
Went up. He was in the Whitehorse or the middle of nowhere somewhere, and there's some band playing for 2 people.
Right.
And one of them was Richard Branson.
Really?
Signed.
Oh.
I forget which band it was. I don't know. Do you remember that story?
No, I can't remember.
Yeah,
that'd be bizarre.
But it was just they played a great show to nobody.
Right.
But the one guy,
Yeah.
He's like, holy shit, I'm glad I walked in.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I forget what
becomes
band
memorable
it was.
in that way too, right?
Was it like a big
They were a fairly big band, but I feel like I think it was Whitehorse, so they must have been Canadian, but I don't remember who it was.
Guys, I can't thank you enough. It's
Back for the
absolutely
rest
kick-ass
of
to have
time.
you. I wish you guys the best of luck on your tour coming up.
thanks, man.
I didn't realize that you guys considered it separate pieces. I thought you were in the middle of like one big giant tour right now because the other stuff wasn't too far away.
No, it
Just a warm-up for what you guys are doing right now. For the big track.
Yeah, because we flew out to Toronto to do like whatever Canadian Music Week, and then we did a couple more shows. Like, yeah, it's basically good.
Yeah.
The tour really started March 15th, I guess.
Right.
But this is when we're actually going to be driving. So.
Embarking on the large part of it.
Yeah.
If you've been following along with my rantings and ravings, then you know that I am absolutely thrilled about this next track that we're going to show you, and about the performances in general from Acres of Lions that day here at SBS. They really put some heart into what they did, and I think it absolutely shows on screen. You can hear it in the music, you can hear it in the tone and emotion in Jeff's voice, and the passion of Tyson's playing as well, and especially in this song. So I've said it before, I'll say it again, this is one hell of a catchy track, and I definitely expect to hear this outside the walls of our studio and around town all this summer, because it's going to be one of those songs. So thank you again, Acres of Lions, for doing this. This is Prairie Fire from the new album Homes on SBS Live this week.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Tiny lights, UFO, summer ghosts, always hunting dusty roads. I got nowhere left to go, I got nowhere left to go, I got nowhere left to go. Since you burned up all the roads, you let me know where to roam through the embers and the smoke. Oh, my little prairie fire. Never goes. Country mile, curving earth, was just the distance you deserved. Still I search yellow plains, but I never pray for rain. I got nowhere left to go, I got nowhere left to go,
never go out. So if you weren't convinced before, you certainly are by now. Now that you've seen part 1 and part 2, you understand that Acres of Lions really for yourself as an independent artist represent that next step. That what do you do next? I'm telling you right now, log on to their social media, support this band, and really have a peel through it yourself and take a look at the different things that they're doing for their art and question the dedication level, question the amount of time that you spend doing what you love and whether or not you're putting the full maximum into it. Because again, I've said it before, bands like West My Friend or bands like Treehouse and again Acres of Lions really show what you can do when you're putting everything you have into what you do, and you do it because you love it. So Jeff and Tyson, I want to thank you once again. Dan, my brother from another mother, I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you in person. Same thing with you, Shane. Much appreciated that you let them out for the day. Acres of Lions, you guys are absolutely fantastic in our books, and from what we saw here, standing offer, if you guys ever want to bust out an acoustic album, I want to be the place that records that, because that was some phenomenal stuff that you guys put out and played for us, and I really think that you caught the overall vibe of the studio and maximized your sound that day. It's a unique setting. It's designed by musicians for musicians to be creative and inspiring, and I think that the performances by Acres of Lions really reflect some of that uniqueness, some of that thing that makes us magical in here, and finds that way to capture amazing performances like we've seen in the past from Throttlecaster or from Nixie. Acres of Lions, you've definitely contributed to our mini video hall of fame in terms of music and what we've seen on screen. So I want to thank you guys again from me personally and from all of us at SBS. We had an absolute blast with you guys, and we wish you all the best in the future. Hopefully we're going to be over there on the island checking out one of those dates that you've got up in these summer festivals, hoping to get to the Rock of the Woods festival if I can. So what else have I got for you before I wrap this up? I want to talk about Nicholas and the Iceni. Right, yes I do, because I promised you another video in this episode, and I promised you what is more or less a sneak peek at this band. But it's not. I'm showing you an animated video, so I'm kind of copping out that way, but too bad, because the video is awesome and so is the song. Nicholas and the Iceni, they're from the UK. We've done a written interview with them now that you can check out on the main page, sleepingbagstudios.ca. Check out what they have to say. Nicholas and the Iceni, they're a very well-crafted band, and I think that they put a lot of heart and a lot of effort and a lot of thought into what they do. So again, image isn't the most important thing to this band. Getting the music and the art out there is, and that's something that we always dig and appreciate. So I'm going to show you the first impression that I got from this band, the first look that I ever had with Nicholas and the Iceni's music, which is a song from a French animation team, and this song is called Summer's End. So have a look at this video and know that we're doing a video interview with these guys all the way from the UK, coming up very soon on SBS Live this week.
Sat alone by the river, gazed at clouds until night. The summer's end caught the dreamers, dried the love in their minds, in their eyes, which gave skies. Need to understand why the light had gone from the if you'll remember me and all the other hearts you have won, and all those fond memories of laughter and love in the sun, under the sun. The birds all take flight. At summer's end caught the schemers and stole the fire from their lives, from their eyes, which gazed upon the sky. To understand why the light had gone from the lights. I wonder if you'll remember me and all the other hearts you have won, and all those fond memories of laughter and love in the sun, under the sun.
Okay, next week we are back with the Danbury Lie, and that is a video interview, just like we're going to have with Nicholas and the Iceni. Very excited to show you Rob Longto from the Danbury Lie and where he's living, what he's all about, and the music he makes. So exciting stuff to come there. Of course, you know that we're going to add some comedy into the mix of that show as well, and display our first comedian that we're going to put on SBS, independent comedian by the name of Tom Williams, and he's going to do his thing. Again, no judgment from me. This is for you guys, and just another art medium for us to present to you, one that we're very excited to be able to do so, because I've found that the comedian world, these comics, are incredibly passionate people, and they really believe in what they do. And they have to. We heard it in the interview with Acres of Lions. If you believe, then we believe. And that's totally the case, and you know it too.
SB
But Acres of Lands have got me feeling musical, and I only had one of their videos to show today. Of course, we did Nicholas and the Iceni earlier with Summer's End. You saw that too, but hey, let's do one more. Why not? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the Thrice promo for you one more time for those that haven't seen it or know about our contest for free studio time and video shoots. Take a look at what we've done here to present the rules and the outline for you. The rules themselves are coupled with the winning track from the Thrice contest in the first part of this year. That's right, we run it thrice times. This track is from a band called Singed in Kelowna with Teresa Bishop and Corey Bornow. And they are absolutely creative people, brilliant minds. We had a lot to say and talk about with them through their video interview with us on SBS Live this week. But it was amazing to see what they came back with through the unfinished track that was given out by SBS. And they transformed it into something truly unique, something that represented themselves and still had a little bit of us in it. It was really, really cool. So I'm happy to show that to you again along with all the Thrice rules. We'll close out on that for now and see you again next week with the Danbury Lie. But here's Singed with Secrets Undone and the rules for SBS Thrice. We'll see you next time. Welcome to Sleeping Bag Studios. If you haven't heard from us yet, if you haven't seen us before, what we do is we record audio and we record video in all kinds of crazy and unconventional ways. We unite creative minds and encourage creativity, and those are our strong suits. That's what we do. In addition to that, I'm the host of SBS Live This Week, an independent show that focuses on independent music, trying to bring it to the forefront so that it's there and available for as many people to listen to as possible and discover some fantastic talents that we might not have heard of otherwise. But enough of the intro, because some of you guys have seen that stuff before. We're here to talk about the Thrice contest. And I am stoked to bring you the second part of our Thrice contest for the year. And in round 2, we've changed things around. The prizes will be the same. We've still got the studio day up for grabs. We've got the half day up for grabs, and then the concept video shoot as well. All 3 prizes are still in play, but we've changed things around a little bit so that Singed, everybody will find their way into this contest a little bit easier than perhaps last time in Thrice 1. If you're new to us and new to the contest, you might not know that last time on Thrice, Singed, the band from Kelowna with Corey and Teresa, took all 3 prizes based on being the only submission in a fairly new studio's brand new contest. Now Singed went on to absolutely just do an amazing job. Nothing less than expected as we've come to know and love this band over our history at SBS. I want to show you this track before we get into the rules and what's happening for Thrice 2. So check it out. Here's the winning track from Thrice 1. This is Singed with Secrets Undone.
Back
It was rewarding for us, it was rewarding for them, and it could be rewarding for you too, in Thrice Part 2. So what we've got going are video submissions this time. And there's 3 different prizes up for grabs, as you know. And like I said, we've made it easier this time to get involved on all kinds of levels, from fan involvement to actual artist involvement as well. So what we've got for the 3rd prize this time is we've got that half day in the studio where you take the place over for half of the day, and you can jam it out, you can push record, lots of different things that we can get into. With that half day, what we're doing for that is a simple 3-minute video on why you love music so much. You can get as specific as you want with it. If there's a band you want to shout out for that 3 minutes, you help yourself. If it's just music in general that you love, talk about it and tell us why. Get excited, be creative, film wherever you want, and say it however you feel. Get involved that way and take home a half day in the studio. If you're a fan, then you can donate that to your favorite band, and they can certainly show up here at Sleeping Bag, and we will definitely get that done. And for the 2nd prize in Thrice, what we're going to do is we're going to offer up the original concept video as directed by myself personally, edited and filmed. And the criteria for this is going to be a 3-minute video on you guys jamming it out. So whatever it is, wherever your jam space is, again, however creative you want to make it, show us your jam space and how you guys kick ass in it, and why it's your comfortable space, why it's the best place for you guys to be creative. And from that, we'll judge the best possible jam that we can see, and we'll take you inside the studio or somewhere else for a video shoot. And for the final prize in our Thrice contest, because myself and my beard are resistant to change, we're bringing back the unfinished track once again. Only this time, what we're looking for is the best lyrical flow. So I'll say my goodbyes for now and know that I'm going to see you real soon here at the studio. You can contact me directly, Jeremy at sleepingbagstudios.ca, to get your copy of the MP3 for the unfinished track and start getting ready to bring your best vocal flow to this undone song. So here it is, the SBS unfinished track for 1 full day in the studio here to push record and get your jam on. We'll see you on SBS Live this week soon. Get involved with Thrice. Why not?
you'll see.